Welcome traders to the next video inside our Forex Traders community. On the previous video, you have learned how to place your trend lines and hopefully understood how you can use it for your confluences when it comes to technical analysis. On this video, we're focusing on support and resistance. Alright, without further ado, let's jump onto my computer and I'll continue the explanation while I'm showing you in action. So here we are on GBP USD still. I still have all the trend lines, all the drawings I did on the previous video. And on this video, we're gonna talk about support and resistance, okay? But how does it work? Alright, so support and resistance forms as price reach multiple times a area within the market but fails to break. Alright, so what do I mean? A price performance will reach every time a different price because the market's always moving up and down. Alright, the market will never stop besides weekends. Okay, weekends are off. So when you see that the market goes up, for example, let's use this right side of the chart as an example. Again, whatever I place on a daily and a weekly time frame, it applies as a overall picture for my analysis. Okay, whatever I place on a 4 hour, 2 hour, it applies for a small picture, and so on. So let's take in consideration this right side of the chart. When you see that we have a huge movement either to the upside or to the downside, and we face a reversal and we leave a wick. Alright, the secrets are on the wick. Again, if you haven't understood wicks and candles formations, refer to the free ebook. Alright, so what you can do is you simply place a rectangle on it and drag it to the right side, also as you did with the trend line. So the rectangle will be placed. So the rectangle will be where the brush is at. It's on the fourth option of your tool column, and you click it and then you just drag it to the right side. So the one that sits on the top, those are resistance, because as I previously mentioned but briefly, that whatever sits on the top will be resistance and whatever sits at the bottom will be support. Again, consider it as a ceiling and floor. Support equals floor, so it gives support, alright, for you to stand on. And the ceiling, it is your resistance. If you were to fly through, alright, you know that would be a hard time breaking that area, if you will, because it's a resistance. It's something that it's not easy to just go through. Okay, and you can see that we have gone up and then downwards, but not to the same price performance that we were before. So we might have an area of support here, so I'll just get it to the right side. Alright, and then you can see that we go up again to the area of resistance. Let me get the brush. So that was our first resistance, and then we came down and found support, and we went back to our resistance a second touch, and then we came down here for a second touch on our support, and then we respected our trend line. But look, if you look to the left side, because we also want to look to the left side since we're looking on this part, okay, you can see that on this bullish run we suddenly stopped here. And if you look a little more to the left side, you will see that we rejected there as well. So it's pretty much the same area. And then if you look now to the right side, it rejected also the same area aside with our trend line. Okay, let me erase this mess and I'll draw the tools. So here we go. We've spotted that, and then we're gonna simply add a rectangle from this area to the future. Since this is in 2018 and this was a rejection as well, I'll update to this one and it will still works. Look, So this is what we have right now. We got, this is also a resistance in this case, and every resistance and support can be broken, and they will be one in the other. For example, if a resistance is broken, let's say this resistance right here, it gets broken. So now if the price performance comes back down, it acts as a support. It's always retesting what it has previously done. Okay, or done previous. You know what I mean at this point. All right. So let's go back to the trend line resistance aside with our area of resistance. Okay, our areas of support and resistance, they are psychological, because again we're using tools that many traders around the globe use, because it's the most one of the most used tools around there, and they all work. So, and I explained how the market, it's psychological based. So we believe that many people will spot what we are seeing, and they will react, and then we will act together. Okay, so here we got the trend line, then we got the brush, point 1, point 2, and then we reject our support, our resistance, alright, our support again, and look, on our third touch for the trend line, we also rejected our area of resistance. And then look what happens. We go down to the support, we support, and then we go to the resistance on our trend line, and we go downwards, breaking the support. All right, so let's zoom in in smaller time frames, such as 4 hour, for example, to show you the same support and resistance areas that we have chosen in a smaller picture. Okay, but one thing to remember is when you're considering a breakout, you have to consider the breakout in the same time frame that you have applied your tool. For example, we just applied support and resistances on the daily time frame, so you got to remember that those are on a daily time frame, and you need to confirm its breakout on a daily time frame. All right, place it with different colors. You do your thing. It's very personal. So what you can do as well in the smaller time frames, you can try to spot smaller psychological areas of support and resistance. For example, in this scenario, we can have a small area of resistance because we see rejects 1. Okay, we can see, 1 second. I don't use the brush too much on this platform trading view, because I always record with a different platform that I'm using now, and this one does not offer a pencil to write on the screen that I'm recording, so I gotta use the brush on trading view, and it's not one of the best. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejections on the same level. Okay, even if I delete this. Okay, even if I delete my resistance that I just added, you can see that just looking at the chart, it goes up and then it rejects out of nowhere. It goes downwards. It rejects our next area of resistance, goes back to support, and then it rejects in the middle of the way, like halfway to our resistance, because the market, it's always doing movements inside movements. You will learn on a previous chapter, which is market psychology. So you always have to zoom in to see and spot smaller opportunities and place your tools on the smaller time frames as well, because everyone is trading. Some people trade long term, which is daily, weekly. Some people trade short term, which is 2 hour, and so on. And so you got to figure. All right, so, and you can place as many support and resistance as you want, but remember that the bigger the time frame, more respected it will be, if you know what I'm trying to say, due to it be a bigger time frame. So look, the same support, the resistance that we have just applied, it respected previously. Look, we based our resistance area out of here, but if you look on the left, it was a support here. So as I mentioned, every resistance will be a support and every support will be a resistance. It all depends where the price performance is sitting at. If the price performance sits underneath, it's a resistance, right? If the price support sits below, if the price performance sits below, it's a support, all right? It can be bouncing until it breaks and continues. Right? It's pretty simple, and hopefully you get it by now. And on the next video, we'll cover moving average so you can use a few more confluences for your trade. All right? Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next video.